Alright, here is one of our prototype guitars. This is number 7. This is what all the newest models will be set up like mechanically. This is what they're like when they're all together. And here we have number 10, all apart. And we're going to show you how to assemble these. First we can take a look at the body. Here we have 2 little bolts with points on top. The neck rests on these bolts. It does not rest on the body. It's suspended on top of these 2 and this wedge. And this wedge moves, and that allows for string action height adjustment. We can put the neck on here. I have 4 tools. You can do this in your living room on your couch. The strings are on because they're a pain to take on and off all the time. Here we go. Okay, here's our neck. 1 bolt. Be careful to line up these 2 dimples in this plate with these 2 points here. You can feel it, find its spot that it wants to rest in. Screw this bolt in. Regular Allen bolt. Just snug it down. You don't need to really over torque it. It's wooden threads. There we go. Our neck is on. Now we can put our hitch plate. Simple piece of metal with an ebony nut there for the strings to rest on. This goes in like so, and it finds its spot in there. There we go. That's it. Now we have our bridge. 2 bolts. We'll take a closer look at this later, but this is how it goes on. 2 simple bolts. There we go. Nice and snug. Here we have our scroll work. These just pop right in. You can put different designs on those to change your tone. And up here we have a regular truss rod that works like a normal acoustic guitar, a removable nut for which size string you would like to use. You can take that off and put a 1356 on or an 1152. Truss rod cover, little simple hardware store screws, here we go. And up here we have a hitch plate. This bar that is adjustable with these pinch bushings. You can loosen that screw and this one, and you can raise and lower that bar. You want it low enough so your strings go from the tuners up to the nut, and that will hold your strings in the nut slot and it will prevent them from popping out. And here we have a string muting felt. This is the regular piece of felt that helps quiet these strings when they're pulled up to tension. We can take one of these strings here. First string under the capo bar there. Works the same way as the one on the top of the neck. That helps hold our strings on these adjustable aliquots. And this end here hooks onto one of these. And you want this hitch plate to be about 1/4 of an inch above the soundboard. You don't want it touching, that'll kill your sound. You don't want it too high up, that also doesn't sound good. About there. We can tighten these strings and that will hold itself with the pressure of the strings. So we'll get all these strings on here and move on to the next thing. Okay. So here's our action height adjustment wedge. You can see the strings are very close to the neck, the fretboard. We can take our Allen bolt here with fully up to tension, loosen that just a little bit, 1/4 turn, maybe 1/2 turn. You can push this wedge in and that tilts your neck. Retighten your bolt, just snug. Now your action height is higher than what it was, so you can adjust your action height on the fly if you would like to. We can come back to these adjustment bolts in here that the neck rests on. You can see a space between the body and the neck here. The neck does not rest on the body. And you can see here, if you look square at the strings in the fretboard, the neck is sticking out on this side of the strings more on this side. It's a little crooked here. So we can go in here and tighten this bolt. You can move the strings over. How's that? A little more maybe? And normally this doesn't need to be adjusted, but the option is there. Once they're set, it's kind of set and forget. That moves your neck this way or that way. So you can reset your neck in your living room. There we go. These just pop in. Okay, adjusting this A string here. Looks like we're in tune there. We're intonated. We can test it at our 12th fret here. You can see we are way sharp. So we can come down here to our adjustable bridge. I loosened these two little bolts. You can slide that back. Maybe like that. We'll try that. 12th fret. Much better. Very close. Open string. So let's slide it back a little more here. Try that. Looks pretty good. That tuner's not the greatest. So we can tighten these, and normally these are a set and forget kind of thing. You don't need to adjust these all the time. That's just a little demonstration on how they work. Snug that down, sneak that behind the string, snug that down, and that's it. That's how you adjust the intonation on this. And every one of these piano guitars that leaves this shop is going to come with a manual that tells you how to adjust and maintain this instrument. It tells you the size of all the screws and bolts and the thread count in case you lose one. You can easily go to a store and find another replacement. And if you happen to lose this piece of paper, you can message us and we will send you a new one. Every model made after this should be about the same as this. This is prototype number 10. Made from an 1868 Chickering grand piano that lived in Boston.